I've been through Hebrew Academy since '96, and so many people are terrified by the training that they see the Israelite school of UPK do.
Right for YAHUSHA! Crowns of gold! Every crowns of gold! Babylon is falling! Babylon is falling!
They might go to a park or go to a field, and they see blacks and Hispanics physically training for war, training for combat, and that terrifies them. And they get horrified. Inevitably, they call the police.
Okay. So we got the full.
People are afraid of commanding General YAHANNA's Hebrew Academy because they're afraid of black men and Hispanic men who are not afraid of them. What you see out there is men who seek perfection in everything they do. That's what the Hebrew Academy is. The Hebrew Academy is men who have decided to be perfect. They've decided to be perfect with the hope that the Lord thy God would choose better leaders over the earth. If we show him that we can be those leaders. If we show him that we can do a better job than the Christians have, than the Catholic Church has, than the military and the police have. We show God a better option than the people who rule the world right now. And that's why we're in Hebrew Academy. To give God a better option for the governors of this world. A better option for the army of God in this world. God doesn't have to choose the police or the military or an army of Catholic bishops who will molest your children. We're trying to show the Lord that there is a new government that could step in and take over at his command. That's the Hebrew Academy, all right? I pray you understand.
Okay, Shalom Israel with the I.S.U.P.K. Start out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Under Commanding General YAHANNA. I'm Priest and Officer Marah, Officer of 5,000 in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Okay, this is our Monday scripture breakdown class. I want to say it's for everybody that tuned in and that's tuning in right now. If y'all on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, or all the platforms, YouTube, and I forget the other ones that we on. But I just want to say Thawada to y'all for tuning in. Okay. Now, with that being said, is there any questions in the class? Go ahead, Sawana.
I have a question about Deuteronomy.
The brother, he's gonna give you the mic. Salaki.
I have a question about the book of Deuteronomy, 28. I think it's 43. It's one of the curses.
I'm sorry, y'all.
I wanted to know what the YAHWAH mean when our oppressor would go above us very high, and then we would be
very low.
Very low.
Okay. So your scripture was Deuteronomy 28 and 33. We can get. I know exactly which one you're talking about.
I think it's 43 or 23.
43 or 23. Nope, you was absolutely right. It's 43. Can we get Deuteronomy 28 and 43? All right. I gotta read it nice and loud. I can too. If y'all can just keep an eye out on the mics up here, the small ones. If this one goes out, y'all can just plug in the other one. It's for what you call it? Yeah, about he gonna get it to the brother. So the sister's question is, why did it say in Deuteronomy the 28th chapter? If y'all don't know, Deuteronomy the 28th chapter is the curses that the Lord said would happen to the Israelites if we did not obey him. All right, the Israelites are the blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, and blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Okay, so when we were given the law from Moses, the Lord, he said, if we do the law, we would be blessed. And he said that if we break the law, we would be cursed. Not like a cuss word, like people say is a cuss word. Really, you're saying strong language or rude speech, right? We talking about real curses, curses that happen, punishments. Curses of punishment, right? So the Lord said he would punish us if we didn't keep his law. One of those things he said is Deuteronomy 28 and 43, which is her question. Y'all can read it.
Come. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high.
Who is the stranger in this context? The stranger in this context is the other nations. So sometimes when it's a lot of the times when it talks about a stranger, it's talking about an Israelite that is either as a punishment has been cast out of our land for a time period, or permanently. Back then it was permanent. Now, of course, because of Christ, we're able to come back. But at that time, a stranger was usually an Israelite that was either put out the land for permanently or for a time period, or just a regular stranger like today, like an Israelite that you don't know. Like a stranger don't have to be a white person or a Chinese person, but you just don't know this black man or this Hispanic man, right? Or this Native American Indian man. You just don't know him. That would be a stranger. Now, in this context, a stranger is talking about the other nations, right? Meaning somebody that's not an Israelite. As you can see, the people that are not Hispanic, the people that are not black, the people that are not Native American, they have gotten far above us in status and wealth, in reality. They've gotten a lot of gain, and their gain is far above the gain that we had. So what it's saying is the strangers that's around us, keep on reading.
Come. And thou shalt
Salaki, read that again. I'm sorry.
Come. Deuteronomy 28:43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high.
So they're going to get up above us very high, and they've gotten up above us very high. What race is the president? You know what race he is. Go ahead. I'm too wild on the coffee. The water. What race runs South America? You know what race runs South America? It's the same race that runs America. It's the same one that runs Canada. It's the same one that runs Europe. It's the same one that runs Africa. And we're not Africans, but we're Jews. But the actual Africans, they ran by the oppressor or the Chinese man, right? And the Africans, they're strangers too. They're not Israelites, right? So with that being said, one of the curses or one of the punishments was that the other races or the other nations, or you could say the other races, right, that were not Israelites, they were going to gain more than we could ever gain. And read on, meaning wealth, status, power, military might, you name it. Even culture-wise, we just now getting our culture back in 1969. Go ahead.
Come. And thou shalt come down very low.
Read it again.
Come. The stranger that is within thee.
No, Salaki, just that one part where you was at.
Come. And thou shalt come down very low.
Read it again.
And thou shalt come down very low.
And thou shalt come down very low. Thou is Old Quaker English for you. And you shall come down very low. We as a nation, as black, you see what they're doing to part of our race. Our Mexican brothers who are Israelites, they are being pushed out. They stopping every Hispanic looking brother or sister and trying to get them out of here. Our nation, the people that look so-called black, we can't go anywhere. We terrified of the cops. The cops, they just, pull up and pow, and then that's it. No matter what you're doing, no matter how old you are. What's so funny is a story out, Salaki, where the two boys was playing with the gun, and all you hear is, put it down, baby, put it down, baby. But I just kept saying, if these kids, now I don't know what race they were, but they looked like they wasn't our race. They could have been Hispanic or whatever, but I didn't see that. I don't know what race they are. I know we'll find out later on for the show. But I kept thinking, I said, if these two kids was dark skinned, we'd be reading a whole nother story. It'd be a whole nother story. It'd be two unalived children. It would the cover story wouldn't be them playing with the gun. It would be the power, you know, the curse. The curse that would have happened to those young men. And that's because the Lord cursed us. He told us that if we break his law, if we sin, that we would be cursed. And because, you know, we become a nation of sinners, we are cursed by the Lord. That's why we needed Jesus Christ. We needed Christ to redeem us, to bring us back to the Most High. That's what we needed Christ for. Or else we would be stuck in this terrible situation, in this curse. Anything else? Was that it? It's too wild. Most High Christ. I'm about to say it's too wild. You know, if you need some time. All right, so I'm gonna go into a little bit of my topic, right? Salaki, any more questions in the room or online? Oh yeah. Go ahead. Well, I'll take a question too.
This is from Trooper SICARII. Shalom, YAHUSHUA, Trooper SICARII from Dallas, Texas. YAHUAH. Can you explain 1 Samuel chapter 1 and verse 11? What is she talking about? Shall no razor come upon his head?
Okay.
1 Samuel chapter 1 and verse 11.
1 Samuel, I think this might have been one of the scriptures that I got my name from. Salaki. All right. Y'all know my Hebrew name is Razor. And I looked up a few different scriptures where it says razor. Not all of them have the same Hebrew word. You know what I mean? But that's another topic. I think this is one of them. So, what was it? It was Samuel what?
1 Samuel chapter 1 and verse 11.
Okay, you got it?
Okay.
I'm going to get with you too as well. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Book of 1 Samuel, chapter 1, verse 11.
And
she bowed a bow and said, O Lord of hosts, if thou wilt indeed look on the affliction of thine handmaid, and remember me, and not forget thine handmaid, but wilt give unto thine handmaid a man child, then I will give unto him, unto the Lord, all the days of his life.
Go ahead.
And there shall no razor come upon his head.
Okay, read it again from the top.
Oh,
what she's saying in essence is, y'all know anything about the Nazarites, the vow of a Nazarite is you can't cut your hair. Right? So if y'all know about Samuel, I believe, was a Nazarite. Or was it Samson? One of them was. But that's the vow of a Nazarite, meaning you don't cut your hair. It was Samuel. I believe Samson might have been one too.
He was going to go.
Yeah, they're both of them, right?
This one, it says in verse 20, it says the same.
All right, Most High in Christ. Go ahead, read it again from the top. So now I just gave you a little bit of the backdrop, but you can read it again.
Oh, God. This is book of 1 Samuel, chapter 1, verse 11. And she bowed a bow and said, O Lord of hosts, if thou wilt indeed look on the affliction of thine handmaid, and remember me, and not forget thine handmaid, but wilt give unto thine handmaid a man child, then I will give him unto the Lord.
Now, pause right there. She said she will give him unto who?
The Lord.
So can you physically give the child to God? It's like you just pull up to daddy to Lord's daycare and say, here you go, Lord. He's yours now. Now, physically, you could do that here in the I.S.U.P.K. And you could with the men of God back then, technically, depending on how you look at it. You know, our body always good with them little loophole questions and answers. You know what I mean? Technically, you could if you give it to the man of God, but you have to be a man of God. You can't physically give her to the Lord, but you can physically give the child to a man of the Most High, right? So with that being said, what she means is she'll make sure that her son serves God all the days of his life, as the brother is about to read. You got it.
God. All the days of his life, and there shall no razor come upon his head.
And that's what it means. No razor shall come upon his head, because the vow of a Nazarite. Abba, you got the scripture where it says it? Oh, you said verse 20? Oh, go ahead, drop that. You got it.
First Samuel chapter 1, verse 20. Wherefore it came to pass, when the time was come about after Hannah had conceived, that she bare a son and called his name Samuel, saying, because I have asked him of the Lord.
Go ahead.
I was just saying that was the name.
Oh, that was his name. Shema is his name in Hebrew, Samuel. But that's what she meant about the razor. The razor not coming to his head, meaning because you can physically cut your hair as an Israelite. There's no law that say you can't cut your hair. In fact, it was scriptures that told the priest to, I believe it says sheave. I believe it says sheave, but it's meaning like trim their hair for different things, right? The only thing we're not allowed to do is bald your head if you're not going bald. So you can cut your hair, you cut it low, you do a buzz cut. I mean, no, I don't know who would want to do that, but you can. Now, if you're going bald, then you can bald your hair. You're going bald. You don't got to walk around with patches everywhere. You know, you can clean. Remember, we are clean people. We bathe with soap that smell good for y'all East Indians. That's a sidebar. Anyway, we bathe and we smell good and we clean ourselves up. You know what I mean? You know, you can make yourself look good. You just can't destroy your borders of your head. Can't push your hairline back. None of that crazy stuff. You can't get shape-ups, right? But you can take off the excess hair around your beard and all that. You ain't got to walk around here looking crazy or looking raggedy, as we say today. But so the only law is you can't bald your head if you're not going bald. That's what the Egyptians did. They would shave their eyebrows, shave off their beards and their mustache, and they would bald their heads for the dead. We don't do any of that. We don't get tattoos. We don't do none of that stuff. We don't get shape ups. You know what I mean? So, but once again, you can trim your hair. You can sheave, I believe, is what the term they use, your hair. You can do that. But Nazarites, you can do that except if you took the vow of a Nazarite. Go ahead, Abba.
I got the vow of the Nazarite in Numbers chapter 6 and verse.
Baba Kashal, the water.
We'll go straight to the point, verse 5.
You can go straight to the point in verse 5. You got. Oh, can I hear you? Oh, go ahead.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 6 and verse 5. All the days of the vow of his separation, there shall no razor come upon his head.
Now, what is the vow of his separation? The vow of the Nazarite. Does it say Nazarite in verse 1? That would have been great to read that.
Verse 2.
Go ahead. Read verse 2.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 6 and verse 2. Speak unto the children of Israel and say unto them, when either man or woman shall separate themselves to vow a vow of a Nazarite, to separate themselves unto the Lord.
Unto who?
Unto the Lord.
Unto who?
Unto the Lord.
Unto the Lord. When you vow that vow unto the Lord, meaning to separate yourself unto the Lord, meaning you're taking this vow to do the specific things that it says in the Nazarite vow. So now you're not the average person that can just get a haircut. Of course, we didn't get shape ups or nothing, but you can't just get a haircut because you want a haircut.
Right.
I believe the Nazarites can't touch women either. So the Nazarites, they didn't have ribs. When you take that vow from a baby, you would have to wait till your vow was till you achieved whatever, the Nazarite vow, you lived out the term of, not having a rib and, being separate unto the Lord, not cutting your hair. And then after a time, I believe you were able to, you fulfill your oath and I believe he was able to stop the Nazarite oath. But don't quote me on that. You got to ask General Mahayaman. I believe it is a time period where you were able to stop that vow after, you know, achieving the vow to some degree, right? And that because that was the point, to do whatever that vow is of being a Nazarite. So with that being said, that's what it means to not take a razor to his head. It ain't saying she ain't going, you know, try to clip him and unalive him with the razor. It's saying that she's not going to allow him to ever cut his hair. He won't never get it trimmed. He won't get his ends clipped. None of that. Whatever it is that's growing, that's what's growing. All the way until he fulfilled that Nazarite vow. Right? So I hope that answers your question. If I may.
All right. I'll answer your questions online and in the room. Get you ready today for camp, to go out on the street and on the internet and battle for a just cause, the resurrection of the nation of Israel. If anyone has any questions, I will take them now.
We have a question online, sir.
Please.
This is from Trooper Zakarawan. The question is, 1 Samuel chapter 5 and verse 10. What is the ark for YAHUWAH?
1 Samuel 5 and 10. What is the ark?
Okay,
let's see it. No sweat.
This is the book of 1 Samuel chapter 5 verse 10. Therefore, they sent the ark of God to Ekron. And it came to pass, as the ark of God came to Ekron.
I'll answer the question. This is the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant, you can look it up online or look it up in your Zondervan Bible Dictionary. And it, in essence, is a box overlaid in gold with a gold top on the box with an angel at each of the four corners of the top of the box. This box was kept, and it was a holy relic from the nation of Israel because it held the proof that God made a covenant with the nation of Israel. It held physical evidence of the stories that we were told by our forefathers. So it was a jar in it that held the manna that the Most High fed us with when we came out of Egypt, a jar of manna. It had Moses' staff in it. It had the remnants of the 10 Commandments, the stone tablets. So it was the Ark of the Covenant. It was called that. It was called an ark because it was like a vessel, which is what the term ark means. And it was called Ark of the Covenant because it held the evidence, the proof of all of those stories that we heard from our father, that those stories were true. And it was called the Ark of the Covenant, and that's what the ark is, all right? Próximo.
Sir, there's no more questions online so far.
No problem. Please.
Somebody asked about the Nazarite. It was a scripture, but it was pertaining to being a Nazarite. It made me think, is it a period of time where they can stop that Nazarite vow? Yes, it was. The Nazarite vow, you took it, it was like anything, like a fast that you decide to go on for 3 days, right? And some parents would put their child on it. The parent would put the child on it at birth. And then there might be a time when the child would be off of it and the child would be allowed to marry and live a normal, lawful life in Israel. So yes, there was an amount of time that the Nazarite law could end. All right. Do me a favor, load this camera a little taste right here. Try to make it eye level. Go ahead. Whenever you're ready. Oh, I'm sorry. Was there any more questions, Marah? Yes, go ahead, sir. And Micah 7. I can't notice if I turn my head. That looks right. Go ahead. Micah 7 and verse 11. So I'll read from verse 10 to verse 11. So Micah chapter 7, verse 10. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is the Lord thy God? mine eyes shall behold her. Now she shall be trodden down as the mire of the streets. Verse 11. In the day that thy walls are to be built, and that day shall the decree be far moved. Is the thy walls, is that talking about us or the heathens?
Read it one more time.
Son of God, sir.
Go ahead.
I'll start with verse 9.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, sorry, let's take it.
So what?
Micah chapter 7, verse 8. Rejoice not against me, O mine enemy. When I fall, I shall arise. When I
You get that right? That part you get?
Yes, sir.
Keep going. So what? Go ahead.
When I sit in darkness, the Lord shall be a light unto me.
You get that? Keep
Yes.
going.
I will bear the indignation of the Lord because I have sinned against him.
You get that? Correct? Go ahead.
Until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me.
Mm-hmm.
He will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 10. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is the Lord thy God?
Mm-hmm.
Mine eyes shall behold her.
What book is this in?
It's Micah, sir.
Micah. She that is thy enemy is speaking about her that lieth in thy bosom. It's speaking about the wife that turns against you when times get hard. That's Micah 7 and 7.
Oh.
You understand? Micah 7 and 7. That's your precept for this. You can go ahead and read it for the brothers and sisters, all right?
Come. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is the Lord thy God?
This is a appropriate precept for Mother's Day, right? Mother's Day is a day that the Christian churches are full on Mother's Day like it's Easter Sunday. Why? Because Mother's Day is not truly about loving your mother. Mother's Day is about the economy of Christianity. Right. Mother's Day fuels the Christian economy. It's like Easter or Christmas or any other Christian holiday, which is actually a money grab from the Christian industry, from the industrial Christian industry. And that's what Mother's Day is. Mother's Day is absolutely irrelevant because if anyone truly loved their mother, then of course we would live the kind of lifestyle we live, which is directly opposite what a good mother tells you to do. A good mother doesn't want you to rob people and steal and lie and smoke weed. But of course, no one gives a damn what a good mother has to say. You ignore the mother that you love so dearly. That's if you have a good mother. And of course, the people who have bad mothers, who have terrible mothers, that terrible mother expects to get flowers on Mother's Day. That horrible mother that knows that grandma raised you. She knows that. Do you think a terrible mom doesn't know that her mother raised you? And that she gave you to mom, to grandmom to raise? She knows she wasn't around. She knows she chased penis and vagina rather than raising you. She knows that. But she expects money and cards and flowers on Mother's Day because she has to feed the industrial Christian economy. This precept is about women who are actually your enemies. Women who sleep in your bed, women who birthed you, but actually are absolutely against you when times get hard, when the darkness comes on. When the darkness comes, your mother, your wife, they expect you to betray God. They want you to betray God. They're looking at your integrity and going, why don't you just curse the Lord and die? That's what Job's wife told him when he was going through his darkness. See, Mother's Day too many times celebrates a woman who is a terrible mother. I'll give you a few of those precepts if you need them tonight. And it also does not celebrate the kind of good mother who you ignore, who you don't even give a damn what she says at all. But yet you hand her flowers on Mother's Day. You understand? This is speaking about an enemy that lays next to you in bed. I pray you understand. Anything else? Please.
Two questions online, sir. First question is from Farah Banyamian. Salaki, sir, with your grace in Revelation chapter 13. Who are the 7 heads and 10 horns referring to? And who is the beast? The
7 heads and 10 horns. The 7 heads are speaking about the 7 governments that rose out of the fall of the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire was an extremely vast empire, controlled all of Europe and England, Scotland, Ireland, controlled, Greece, right? But then when they fell apart, 7 governments rose up in their place. Those 7 governments are the countries that we now call the European powers. They came out of those 7 heads. So you have 7 heads, which are the governments that come out of Rome, and the 10 horns are the governments that come out of those governments, the governments that come out of those heads, which is why they're called horns. I'll give you an example. Londinium was a Roman province. Londinium became England, right? With their capital being London, England. America is a horn that came out of Londinium, a horn that came out of England, because America is a government that came out of a government. So those are the 7 heads. The brothers can give them to you. I don't even remember most of them. I know it's Spain, England, Germany, Portugal, Italy or Rome. That's 5. Russia, I think, is 6. I'm missing one more. I don't know. There's one more. The brothers, officers can give you all 7 of them. And then there's 10 governments that came out of those 7 heads. America is one of them. There's a few other countries, but I can't recall. I think maybe Portugal is not one, but Portugal might have came out of Spain. I don't remember. All right. But the brothers who have their notes, copious notes that they take, they'll give you the exact list. All right. Anything else?
Okay. This is from Kanak YAHUAH. Shalom, Lord in Christ, YAHUAH. Salakia, if it pleases you,
please.
Can I get a breakdown on Ecclesiasticus, chapter 27, verses 2 through 3?
No problem, Lord. It'll be my pleasure. All right, let's go to it.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 27 and verse 2. As a nail sticketh fast between the joinings of the stones, so doth sin stick close between buying and selling.
Oh, yeah. As a nail, read it one more time.
Okay. As a nail sticketh fast between the joinings of the stones.
The term fast is Old English for like stuck, like you fasten a nail or fasten your seatbelt. A nail that sticks fast between the joining of bone. Is that what you said?
Stone.
Like a nail that sticks fast between the joining of stone. Now you can imagine how tight a nail will stick in the stone, right? That's the metaphor. It's in there deep. It's in there tight. Keep going.
So doth sin stick close between buying and selling.
So does sin stick close between buying and selling. Why? Because as a man seeks to be an entrepreneur, seeks to be a businessman, as a woman seeks to do business, that person will begin to think of ways that they can cut corners and cheat people to make their business succeed. That's the danger in any economy. You see what the Christians have done. The Christians have allowed their greed to create Mother's Day and Easter and Christmas that have no biblical basis, that are actually a cancer on blacks and Hispanics, but it makes so much money that they can't let it go. They care more about the making of money than they do morality. And that's the danger when you go into any business. Will you cut corners? Will you say that this is silk, but really you'll blend some other fabric in there that's cheaper, which is why we have laws of having a just measure and a just scale and not mingling fabrics. It's to avoid the kind of theft that is natural when you try to become a business person. But you're not allowed to do that in Israel.
Right.
I did like the term a pig in a blanket. You ever heard that term before? It's like a pig in a pig. What's the thing they say a pig goes in? A pig in a basket, a pig in a bag. Let the pig out the bag. You've heard that term before. Well, that is an actual term. Now the cat is out the bag. That's the one. Now the cat is out the bag. That term comes from the Middle Ages when people would go buy a piglet that they would sell at the market. They would have all the piglets in bags already, in those breathable bags so the pig could breathe. And people would go and buy a pig. They would buy a pig. And they would just buy one, But when they got home, they opened up the goddamn bag and it's a cat in there. So because of that, the term "the cat out the bag" began to mean when the truth finally comes out. When finally it's revealed to you, because people would cheat you when you went to market. They would tell you this garment was made of one thing and it was not. They would cheat you. In Israel, you are not allowed to fall to that temptation of committing crimes simply because you want to make money. Everyone understands. All right, go ahead.
One more verse, sir.
Please.
Verse 3. Unless a man holds himself diligently in the fear of the Lord, his house shall be overthrown. Shall be soon overthrown.
That's going into what I just said, brother. If you decide to be a business person, you're going to have to be diligent not to cheat people, not to sell cars that are lemons, not to cheat, not to sell homes that you don't own. Don't do things like that, Ak. Like, that's wrong, and it's against our laws. And if you're not diligent, if you're not careful to make sure that your morality is more important than your money, then what's going to happen is sin is at the door, brother, and you're going to be overthrown. And then a just man will be knocking at your door to drag you out of the house because of the cheating that you did to your own people. Everyone understands? Go ahead.
This is from Officer Nawanyala. Salakia, my Lord. If I may, was Job friends helping him or was trying to get him to curse God like his wife tried?
Job's friends were attempting to help him. They were sincere in their desire to help him. That's the answer. Job's wife was not. Job's wife just fell weak, just like your mother did. It's like all of your grandmamas and your mamas just fell weak, and they hate you simply because you are not bending over backwards for white society. And they hate you for that. And the more that you stand up and become a man, an evil mother will hate you. She'll expect flowers nonetheless. She'll expect flowers no matter how many years she spent snorting cocaine and smoking crack and your grandmother raised you. She'll still expect a Mother's Day gift. Nah, Job's friends weren't like that. They didn't know. What Job finally realized is that it wasn't his fault. They were telling Job that it was his fault because Job was doubting the Most High God. And they were trying to tell him that he should not doubt the Lord. He can't grab Leviathan out of the water. He can't wrestle the behemoth. You shouldn't doubt the Lord when you are going through a terrible time. They were absolutely right. Job's friends were right. Job listened to them, and they were with him during a terrible time of grief and agony because he lost his children, lost all his possessions, and his wife turned against him. They were with him, and they sat by him, and they were sincere in trying to help him. Because of their help, he realized at the end that it was him. It was him, that he repented for what he had done. And then the Most High gave him back everything that he took from him. Is there anything else?
Oh God, this is from Trooper YAHUAH Gabar. Shalom, YAHUAH. If I may, Adawan,
please.
Can you break down Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 18?
No problem, of course.
Is it saying we can't be proud of a family member making accomplishments?
Is it saying we cannot be proud of a family member making an accomplishment? Is that what he said? What's his name?
Trooper YAHUAH Gabar.
Trooper YAHUAH Gabar. Let me look into it for you, brother. Go ahead.
Okay. This book Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 18.
Go ahead.
Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall.
Okay, to answer your question directly, no, this is not speaking about how you feel about your family member. This is speaking about how you should be. This is telling you not to be proud. This is telling you to watch your behavior and watch your pride, because the more proud you get, the more you think you're something, then you give the Lord cause to let you know that you are absolutely nothing. Pride goes before a fall. All right, so you want to maintain humility. It's important unless you want the Lord to take you down. That's what this precept is about. Próximo.
Okay. This is from Yahawaah, Israel.
Yapai or Yapai? Let's go with Yapai for time's sake. Is that all right? Go ahead. Yapai Israel. You got it.
Slakia General, would you please break down this scripture for me, please? Deuteronomy chapter 4, verses 1 through 6.
No problem. Also, someone remind me of Mother's Day so I can give you a couple of them. More, I can wait till Thursday if I'm jammed up with time. All right, go ahead.
When this book of Deuteronomy chapter 24, verse 1.
Please, ven otra vez, please. Por favor.
When a man hath taken a wife and married her, and it comes to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, because he found some uncleanness in her, to let him write her a bill of divorcement and give it in her hand and send her out of his house.
This is the law of Moses. Give me Matthew, the 9th chapter, I believe. Just a precept for this, what Christ spoke about Moses giving us this law. This is the law of separation or the law of divorce. If a man is married to a woman, this is your woman, but then you find some uncleanness in her. You can think of some like any uncleanness in her. You can think of uncleanness like something that makes you want to separate from her, which is what unclean means, that you want to be separate from this person. So if you just wanted to be separate from her for any reason, you could leave her. You would give her, you would write down on a piece of paper with a witness or a scroll or whatever they had back then, and you would say, this is no longer my wife, I'm separate from her. She would take that letter, she'd hand it to the judge or the priest, and she'd hand it to her new husband. She'd say, listen, I'm free. Here's a letter from my old husband. Now you can have me. And that was the law of Moses. Everyone understands. This TV went out over here. I'm not sure what. That was the law of Moses. Now, let me explain it to you now. Let me give you the breakdown on this precept, if you don't mind. Por favor. Go ahead and read it. Tell them where you are, unless you don't have it.
What, you want to Matthew?
Yes, please.
I'll
get it. I'll get it for you. Stand by, everyone. What's his name again? Yapai Israel. Stand by. I'm going to give you a precept so you can understand what happened, what that precept is speaking about. I believe it's Matthew 19 and 8. Is that right up? Let's start at 8. Matthew 19 and 8. Remember, the New Testament explains the Old Testament. The Old Testament explains the New Testament. And Jesus Christ gives us the understanding on how to keep the law. Without Jesus Christ, you can't even understand the law to keep it. All right? So we're going to give the breakdown that Jesus Christ gave on the law of Moses concerning divorce. Let's go.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 8. He saith unto them, Moses, because of the heart.
I'm sorry, skip up. You need to go above it to get the context.
Verse 7. They say unto him, why did Moses then?
One more verse.
Verse 6. Wherefore they are no more twain.
If you could read above it, right, and see where this topic starts.
Verse 3.
Please.
The Pharisees also came unto him, tempting him, and saying unto him, is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause?
For what cause?
For every cause?
For every cause. This happened 2,000 years ago. Men walked up on Jesus Christ as he was at camp, the same way you were at camp last Saturday and last Friday. And they went to him, tempting him, meaning their question was not a sincere question. You understand, Yapai? Their question was not sincere. They were attempting to battle him with a question, which is what officers in the truth, you have to know when that's happening, all right? So they said this, read it again.
The Pharisees also came unto him, tempting him, and saying unto him, is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause?
Is it lawful for a man to put away a wife for every cause? That was important because Moses said for any uncleanness. So what Moses said is clear. Is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for any cause? Now remember, they said this tempting him. Now you're going to need some context clues to understand this. If they said this tempting him, then what does that tell you that Jesus Christ was teaching before they asked this question? If you don't know what I'm talking about, raise your hand or tell me online. Meaning they said this trying to anger him, trying to debate him, trying to battle him. So they know what he teaches. What does he teach based on their question, officer? He is teaching you cannot put away your wife. And they know he's teaching that. That's why them tempting him said, is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for any cause? Because they know that Jesus Christ teaches it is unlawful for a man to put away his wife for any cause. They know that. But saying that 2,000 years ago gets you stoned up. Because Moses said you could do it for any cause. So they were trying to set him up. They were trying to get him to say something that was unlawful so they could kill him before his time. Everyone understands. Now read.
Verse 4. And he answered and said unto them, have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female?
So once again, he begins, because there is no one in history that could battle like Jesus Christ. He doesn't answer their question directly. He begins to cut them in the Old Testament because he knows that they think they're experts in Moses and in the Old Testament. So have you not read that he that made them in the beginning made them male and female? Speaking about Adam and Eve. Keep going.
Verse 5. And said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife.
Didn't Moses say that a man should leave his father, leave his mother, and unify with his wife, cleave to his wife? Didn't Moses say that? Keep going.
And they twain shall be one flesh.
And they what?
Twain shall be one flesh.
And they what?
Twain shall be one flesh.
Carne de mi carne, hueso de mi hueso, flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone. Didn't Moses say that? Moses said that. He said, we're two, them they twain, which is Old English for two, will be one. Moses said that, didn't he? Keep going.
Verse 6. Wherefore they are no more twain, but one flesh.
They're not two anymore, they're one. They're one. Continue.
What therefore God hath joined together, let not man put asunder.
That's in the Old Testament, young brothers and sisters. That's what Moses said. They that are joined together, let no man make asunder. Moses said that. Keep reading. The word asunder means to separate. Keep going.
Verse 7. They say unto him.
So then obviously, after he cut them, they said this was their reply. Go ahead.
Why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement and put her away?
You said they're like so many of you fake Israelites out there, Muslims out there, atheists out there. You think that you can understand the Old Testament without understanding a black man named Jesus Christ. Nunca. Nunca. That can never happen. You cannot understand the Old Testament without understanding Jesus Christ. They said, well, damn, that's true, but then why did Moses say, give them a bill of divorce then? Why did he do that then? And here's what you need, YAHUAH Israel. Go ahead.
Verse 8, he saith unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts, suffered you to put away your wives.
Read that again.
He saith unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts, suffered you to put away your wives.
Let me tell all of you out there that are in these terrible marriages that you suffer in every goddamn day. Those of you that are willing to suffer in it. Most of you aren't willing to suffer in it. That mother that you gave flowers to, she couldn't stay with your father because she found a phone number in his pocket in 1982. She left your father and she married that man that molested you. She married him, or those men, or those uncles that came in and out of your life, your entire childhood. You see, your mother could not soften her heart to your good father. Your father who hates your mother so much, for what reason? I guess she don't cook and clean enough. I guess she don't go to work all goddamn day and then come home and cook every goddamn thing and hand you all her money. I guess when your wife sees you drunk every goddamn night, like a filthy, pissy rag on the floor, I guess finally she yells at you and you want to leave her because you found some new slut on Instagram and she's going to be a better woman to you. See, you can't forgive your wife because she doesn't have the patience of a statue to look at you destroy yourself on alcohol every goddamn day. You see, the lack of compassion is why marriage is in. And that's the only reason. The lack of compassion is why there are so many bad mothers. You just don't have compassion, that's all. If you had compassion, you'd be a good mother. You had no compassion at all. And that's why you were such a terrible mother with your hand out, begging for a gift every Mother's Day. People don't have compassion, and that's where bad marriages come from. People that can't forgive each other for what happened yesterday, for what happened 10 years ago, for what happened 5 years ago, you cannot forgive. You cannot wake up in the morning and start anew. You can't do it. Your heart is too hard. And over time, your heart just gets harder and harder and harder. You ever hear people that get a divorce after 25 years? I look at go, what in there? What are you looking for in life? Here you go. Somebody take this. What are you looking for? Mr. Right, you're 75. You're back on the dating sites at 50, 60 years old. You have no compassion. And you think you can stay with someone, but you can't stay with anyone if you don't have compassion. Say again? Oh, it's okay. You can't stay with anyone without compassion, without forgiveness. You need it. It's a necessary ingredient in any relationship. Forgiveness, compassion, mercy. Well, Moses knew that you had no compassion and you had no mercy, and it was better that you two leave each other than kill each other. I've done it many times under my service, a placer de la General YAHANNA. Servicio a placer de la General YAHANNA. In my service under Commander General YAHANNA, I've had to separate couples because I don't want them to kill each other. So you got to go live somewhere else. Huh? Sister, you got to go live somewhere else. Because if I let you two stay in the home with each other, you're going to kill one another. Moses knew your hearts were too hard to stay together. He knew you couldn't forgive each other. And of course, he was no Jesus Christ. So he couldn't fix it. I pray you understand. He did the best he could, being just a man who didn't know what Jesus Christ knew. So he told them they could leave each other. She can go marry someone else because the brother doesn't want you. The brother doesn't want you anymore. And if I make him stay with you, he'll kill that woman. And Moses knew that. If he has to stay with you when he doesn't want to, he'll kill you. Moses gave us a law that says when you get a new wife, what you give the old wife cannot diminish. That brother wanted to give that old wife nothing because he met some new nasty thing that now his childlike enthusiasm is activated. That's how children are. You know how you feel so excited when you first get a woman and then you don't anymore? And then you're all excited about the new woman. That's because you're a child. You're a kid. Oh, it's Christmas Day when you meet a new broad, huh? It's a brand new toy. Yes, I love her. I want to be with her. What about your other woman? I don't talk to her. I don't want to be with her. She got too much mouth. She bothered me. But this new one, she's a new gift at Christmas Day. Yeah, wait till 2 days after Christmas and you break that toy. I pray you understand. A week after Christmas, you'll break that toy. You will have no interest in that new woman that you were so excited to have. You're a child and you don't have compassion. You need that to stay in the marriage. Jesus Christ forbid us to leave your wife for any reason. It's unlawful because he knew the original purpose of sex was to make two one. That was the point, was to separate you from your mother and father and join you to her. That was the original point. And he knew how to get it done because he was better than Moses. He knew how to get it done. Compassion, kindness, and mercy. Continue.
But from the beginning, it was not so.
You get that. From the beginning means Genesis. From the beginning, it wasn't so. That's not how God wanted it in the beginning. Moses let you do it. What other choice did he have? You beat that broad to death unless I let you leave her. I find her killed and in a hole in the woods. if I don't let you leave her. So yes, Moses did it, but from the beginning, that's not how it was. I believe the brother understands. That's all I can do for him. Please, sister. Shalom, good to see you. Please.
I wanted to know the breakdown of what Christ meant when he said, what therefore Yahweh have joined together, let not man put asunder. The breakdown.
He's talking. What he's speaking about is Adam and Eve. He's referring to that, and how that was the first marriage of people in the truth. That was the first time two people who God brought together came together. And when I say God brought together, meaning they believed in the same thing, and they came together because they believed in the same thing. Eve believed what Adam believed, and she joined to him and created a new family. And so God put them together. And he's saying, let no man make asunder. Asunder is separate in Old English. So if you're together, if God put you together, don't let any person separate you. That's what that's talking about, because that is who separates marriages. Some person, mainly your mother or your homeboys or your cousins or Donald Trump or the TV or Beyonce or whatever, or Wendy Williams or whatever, whoever is influencing people out there and more of an influence than God is in your life. All right, that person is separating your marriages. That person. God wants it to stay together.
Did that apply also to an unbelieving spouse, to a believing spouse?
Yes, it does. Because that unbelieving spouse is a person trying to end that marriage. It absolutely applies to him. However, in that case, that cannot be stopped. Do you understand? 1 Corinthians, the 7th chapter says this: if the unbelieving departs, let them depart. Because God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. You see, if your mother wants you to break up with your husband, you can say, Mom, I'm not listening to you. But if your husband says, I'm going, I'm leaving, you can't keep him. You can't force him to stay in the marriage. You understand? So trying to force him to stay would be total confusion, because this man says, I'm leaving you. I don't believe in the truth. I don't believe in God. I don't care what the Bible says. Don't ever call me again. Here's a restraining order. Stay away from me. Well, you got to leave that man alone. You can't be in his life. So leave him and get another husband.
What if he wants me to leave him? Do I leave him?
Well, if he wants you to leave him, then he has to do the leaving.
Okay.
That's all. You cannot leave him, but he absolutely can. So if he wants to leave, let him go ahead. You want to leave, no problem. Then okay, well, are you leaving me? No sweat. Send your camp leader a text message. That's all he'd have to do. Any brother out there in the world, you don't want your wife, she's in the truth, send the camp leader a letter saying you're leaving her. I'll give it about 6 months, and then some good man is going to be having sex with her better than you ever did. Does everyone understand? You know I'm not joking. You know this is what I've done, and I do. Okay, if a brother doesn't want you, please believe it, a good man will want you if he refuses. This is in the Bible. You can't force an unbeliever to stay with you. The same thing goes for a man. Let's say you're a man and your woman doesn't want to be with you. She says, no, you join that cult. I don't want to be with you anymore. Don't come around here. Here's a restraining order. Stay away from me. What is he supposed to do? Break the restraining order? Keep going over there? Sit outside in front of her job with a damn guitar trying to sing her songs? No. She doesn't want to be with you. Fine. Because there are 7 women that will have him with honor. So if a brother wants to leave you and you're a woman in the truth, shalom. Send your camp leader a message and you're going to get a man. Please believe that. If you leave your woman in here, she's not going to be single forever. I'm telling y'all right now. I told you this before. She's not. She's not going to stay single because righteous women are too precious and rare. She's not going to stay single if you leave her. That's that. You understand?
Would that be committing adultery?
No. Why? Why is it not?
Because if the husband leaves the wife, except it be for fornication, she could be.
She's single.
Commit adultery.
Let me give you the precept. First, give me Romans 5:1 or 5:5, and then give me 1 Corinthians 7 and I think 25. I'll explain to you. The sister asked, why is that adultery? That's absolutely not adultery. All right? And I'll explain with 2 precepts. Give me a woman is bound to her husband until he be dead. Give me that, all right? When you find it, get it, then I'll get to the next question. Like, that's a silly thing. Some brothers do it because some brothers that a sister in the truth marries are just evil and wicked. And they're going to hate you because you're not evil. And they want to be married to an evil, dirty monster. They want that. They want the women on the pornos. They want the women, you know, on Instagram. They don't want you. And even though they could have you and have another woman, they still don't want you. Because your whole vibe of righteousness is just, it repels them. The Bible says that righteousness is as wickedness to a sinner. A sinner looks at your righteousness and it just makes him sick. And so he'll leave you even though he can have more than one woman. And you would accept it. He will still have to leave you. I'll show you the precept that proves that when he leaves you and you marry another man, it is not sin, it is not adultery. Go ahead and read it, please.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, the 7 and verse 39.
I believe I want Romans first. A woman is bound to her husband until he be dead. That's the one? Please read.
It's the book of Romans.
You need the microphone, probably.
Come on. This is the book of Romans. Verse 7, verse
7 and 1 or 5?
1 Corinthians 7 and 39.
Is that a woman is bound to her husband? Go ahead and read that, please.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians 7 and verse 39.
Take the microphone.
The wife is bound by the law as long as her husband liveth. But if her husband be dead, she is at liberty to be married to whom she will.
That's the law. A woman is bound. The word bound means tied. The same way Commanding General YAHANNA doing our wedding blessings. He ties the couple together, or the man and his wives together, right? To symbolize the bond of marriage, right? A woman is bound to her husband for as long as he is alive. That's the law. Everybody understands? Now skip down to what happens if he leaves her. I believe it's 1 Corinthians 7 and 25. Am I correct? Let me get it for you. Stand by.
Oh, 1 Corinthians 7 and 15.
7 and 15 sounds right. Go ahead.
No, no. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, the 7 and verse 15. But if the unbelieving depart.
Read that first part.
But if
read that right there. No, right there. But that's what you need. Pero. But a woman is bound to her husband as long as he's alive. But that's what you need, because this, you're about to read an exception to that law. A woman is bound to her husband as long as he is alive. But keep going.
But if the unbelieving depart, let him depart.
You see, he doesn't believe that a man and a woman should stay together for the rest of her life. He doesn't believe that a woman is bound to her husband as long as he lives. He doesn't believe that. And you have to believe that to be able to have a marriage with someone. They have to also want to stay in the relationship. If they don't want to stay in it, how in the hell do you force them, especially in a country where divorce and breaking up is encouraged? Then you can't do anything about it. And of course, if you're living in Corinth, the law is not going to make that man stay with you. The law would make him stay with you in Jerusalem because of what Moses said. So you can't force this man to stay with you. So even though the Most High God demands that you stay together, you're married to someone who doesn't care what God said. So if the unbelieving depart, read that again, Shalom. Go ahead.
But if the unbelieving depart, let him depart.
Let him depart. Don't try to force him to stay. Don't sit outside of his job and, key his car and break his windows and go down to his job. Don't do that. If he wants to leave, let him go. Keep going.
A brother.
A what?
A brother.
A what?
A brother.
A brother. Keep going.
Or a sister.
Or a what?
A sister.
Or a what?
A sister.
A brother or a sister. Keep going.
Is not under bondage in such cases.
What bondage is he talking about, sister? Give her the mic. Mhm.
to be bound to her husband.
Give her a hand.
As long as he liveth.
Yeah. She's not under that bondage anymore. She's free. She believes in the law, and she would have stayed with that drunk, drug addict, child molester, pedophile for the rest of his life. But he doesn't like women like her. He likes wicked women. So when he goes, say shalom. You are not under that bondage if he leaves. This is in the Bible. Good to go? No problem. Next. Better. I mean, proxy.
This is from Hebrew Day. General, could you give a breakdown on Revelation chapter 1 and verse 7?
No problem.
I would highly appreciate that.
No, it'll be my pleasure. Revelations 1 and what?
1 and verse 7, sir.
Revelations 1 and 7. Go ahead.
God, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him.
Oh, this is speaking about this day, this glorious day. Este es un día glorioso. A glorious day, brother. This is speaking about a glorious day, the day that Jesus Christ returns. The day that Jesus Christ returns. Read it from the top.
Behold, he cometh with clouds.
He cometh with the clouds. You see, right now you're watching the news and you're looking for India attacking Pakistan, and you're looking for earthquakes in diverse places. You're watching the ground right now. You're watching events that happen on earth. But on the day when Jesus Christ returns, it comes in the sky. He comes back in the sky, and you'll see clouds enfolding upon themselves in the clouds. Inside those clouds are the chariots of God, the chariots that the slaves sung about, the chariots that blacks and Hispanics have been waiting for so long, This is the day that the chariots return, and they come to rescue the children of God and to give them peace from their enemy. He cometh in the clouds. Keep going.
And every eye shall see him.
And every eye shall see him. You see, you won't need to watch the news to see this. You won't need to look at your phone to see the return of Jesus Christ, brother. Everyone is going to see it. The same way everyone looks up and sees the sun, and everyone knows when the clouds are forming overhead, everyone will see Jesus Christ because he's coming in the sky. Everyone will know that he's back. Continue.
And they also which pierced him.
And they what?
And they also which pierced him.
Oh, guess who else is going to know he's back? They that pierced him. They that pierced him is speaking about our oppressor. At that time calling himself a Roman who stabbed our king in his side when he was hanging on a cross. They're going to see that he's back too. They're going to know he's back. I pray you understand. They're going to see him come back as well. Continue.
And all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him.
And all the families of the earth. The word kindred means family or kinfolk or kin. All of the kindreds of the earth will what?
Wail.
Will what?
Oh God, wail.
They will wail. What does the word term wail means? To cry. You see, in your mind, everyone loved Jesus who went to church on Mother's Day, don't you? You believe that, right? You believe that America is a Christian country. Oh, they elected a new pope. I'm going to pop it, diem. Oh, everyone is Christian. The church was full on Sunday. All of the families of the earth are going to cry because Jesus Christ is back, because they do not want him to come back. They don't want Jesus Christ to return. They're lying to you in church. You see, you think God is like that dumb mother that you have, that you hand her some flowers and that makes her think that you're a good son, when really you sold drugs and you had sex with your cousin. Do you know that these brothers in these houses, let me remind you of something on Mother's Day. Listen carefully, Mom. Your son is having sex with his sister and his cousins, and when the cousins have sleepovers in the house, they're having sex with each other. Raise your hand if you have never heard of what I'm talking about. Yeah, everyone knows what I'm talking about. Everyone knows that those kids who come over the house, the brother and the sister is having sex. The cousins are having sex with each other. They're doing that in that goddamn house. While the mom is what? I don't know, watching TV with her boyfriend, doing whatever. Kanye West said that he went into his mother's bedroom, pulled out a Playgirl magazine. Somehow that turned into him and his cousin having oral sex with one another. Happy Mother's Day. I guess I should get you a bouquet of flowers, huh? Your daughters and your cousins is having sex in the room next down the damn hall. The room next door to your room, the kids is having sex with each other in that room. What I have to give you cards and balloons. You can't watch the goddamn kids in the next room. You're drunk on the couch. You don't really want Jesus Christ to return. And because you say you do, it doesn't mean it's true. Jesus Christ said this people draw nigh unto me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. Jesus Christ wouldn't be fooled by your flowers and your candy. He would know you really don't give a damn about him. If you love your mom so much, why'd you have sex with your cousin right down the hallway? What'd you do that for? You two gay, all you gay people out there listening all the time, you know your first sexual experience was with a family person. You know that happened. You know that's how you started. So what would your mom have said about that? Did you tell your mom? Did you ask permission from your mother before you got your 7-year-old cousin to perform oral sex on you? Did you ask your mom, should you do that? Oh, you didn't ask mom because you don't give a damn about your mother. You don't care about your mom. You do whatever you feel like doing, but you hand her flowers on Mother's Day, no problem. God is not so fickle. He's not so silly in his kindness and who he rewards. He knows you don't really love him. You don't want Jesus Christ to come back. When he comes back, all of the nations will be crying, all of them, because they'll know the party is over. And it's time for justice. I pray you understand. Oro por tu entendimiento. Please, sister, you need the microphone.
Well, they cry also because they in fear and not ready for this return.
It's a little worse than that. Ready would insinuate that they were attempting to get ready. They're not attempting to get ready. They're having sex with their cousins and sisters. They're not trying. You get my point? They don't think it's actually ever going to happen. They won't tell you that. They read the Bible. They read it like, the Bible is like the American Constitution. Everyone talks about it, but really, if they don't want to follow it, they're not going to. You understand? They're going to break their Constitution the minute they feel like doing it. They're breaking it. But they like to talk about the Constitution and the one nation under God, freedom, the land of the free. Every person is created equal. That's in the Constitution. But they're still going to have slaves. Christians treat the Bible the way white people treat the Constitution. They talk about it, sounds good, but they really don't think it's true at all. You understand? Anything else? Please, vent out your face, please.
This is the book. This is from
Rashad
bin YAHUAH. So, YAHUAH, can you break down the Ecclesiastes 27, verse 16 to 18?
No problem. I got to get to Mother's Day also. Let me know when I should do it. You die, all right? Okay. Can I get this question? Let me hear it at least. Go ahead. Someone else hold Isaiah 49 and 15. And then someone else heard Isaiah 49 and 15. Yes, please.
Okay. This book of Ecclesiastes 27, verse 16. Whoso discovereth secrets loseth his credit.
Read that one more time.
Whoso discovereth secrets loseth his credit.
One verse above it.
Okay. Verse 15. The strife of the proud is bloodshed, and the revilings are grievous to the ear.
One verse above that.
I think if I could, sir, I think it's if we go
He's
down.
trying to give you a pound, the young brother. Go ahead. Go ahead.
If we go down, it'll tell us more the context.
Okay, while we wait, let's give out some money in here tonight. The young brother, he wants his money. He knows how to get it. Clap it up for the brothers and sisters. This one back here had a hand up the whole time trying to ask questions. Send the young brother up right here to get some cash, y'all. This young brother right here. And send the little princesses up here too. But when you find it, let me know, all right?
Okay, it's like right next.
Go ahead, please.
And shall never find friend to his mom.
And shall never find a friend to his mind. Good job, brother. Good job. Good job. Good job. Very lovely. Look at
Verse
you.
17. Love thy friend and be faithful unto him.
Good job. Good girl. Shalom. Good job. Go ahead. Come on up.
But if thou betrayest his secrets, follow no more after him.
But if he betrays his secrets, good job, young brother. Can you get it? You know what I'm doing? He knows what that is. He'll learn. He will know. Oh, come on up here and get some. Yeah. Good job. Very pretty. Good job. All right. Okay, now this is what this precept in a nutshell is speaking about betraying your friend for selfishness. So in a nutshell, I'll call this snitching. This is a precept against being a stinking snitch. Now, I don't know what you young brothers call snitching. I'm gonna tell you what actually snitching is, all right? Snitching is when you do a crime with someone, or you do a crime, and to get out of that crime, you tell the police about his crime. So then you trade places with him. You go home, he goes to jail. That's against the law of God to do that. You've betrayed your friend. So if you get caught, let's say you did a crime, you got caught, go to jail. Be a goddamn man. Don't run either. You brothers in the UPK, you better never run from some goddamn cop. You don't do that. You stand up and you get in the cop car and you go to jail. You do this. You just shrug off your garment like slap. Do this. Be a goddamn one West about it. Let's go. Don't get up and run down the street, hide in a damn trash can, go and fucking run, or do a standoff in your house. I don't know why y'all do that. You go into the house and now it's a whole standoff with a tank in front of your grandmama's house. You ain't gonna do shit but just come out later anyway. So why not just get up and say, all right, you got me. And walk in there and you'll deal with the matter in court. You'll work it out and you're more than likely you're innocent anyway. So we'll just go into court and prove that you're innocent. But what you're not going to do is now say, because the cops are looking for me, I now will go betray my friend so that I can go home. You can't do that. That's unlawful. That's against friendship, brother. And friendship is a precious thing. You can't do something that might betray your friend. Never. Now, don't conflate this with helping a brother do the sin, helping a brother do the crime. This does not give you law to be an accomplice to a crime. So now some brother says, listen, I'm gonna sleep with this man's woman. Don't tell my camp leader. Don't tell someone. Now you're an accomplice to that crime. Now that's what you've become. Why? Because you're going to tell the UPK, because the UPK is not, we're not Esau, and we're not the unjust. So we're going to deal with that brother justly. And by telling the men of God, you're actually going to help that brother. You're going to help him by telling us. But you better never go to the goddamn white man and tell him anything. Precept. 1 Corinthians, the 6th chapter. That's your precept for this right here. For the no goddamn snitching like a rat. Some of you bastards will plant cocaine on somebody in here just to get out of a crime. You'll do it. You'll go plant a gun because then you go to the cops and say, there's a gun in that school. You planted the gun. Why? Because you know you have a warrant and you want to get out of it. And so now you betray your brothers to get out of it. Read that precept, 1 Corinthians 6:1.
Oh God. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, the 6th verse 1. Dare any of you.
What? Read that again.
Dare any of you.
Read that again.
Dare any of you.
Dare any of you. Man, you better not dare. Keep going.
Having a matter against another, go to law before the unjust and not before the saints.
This is a law against snitching. I don't know how else you can interpret it. You put this together with the other one in the Apocrypha, it's clear. Dare any of you, you're going to go to law before the unjust instead of the saints? If you got a problem with some brother, you come to us. That's who you come to. You don't go to them. You're going to them, because you want to get out of some warrant you have. Oh, that's why you're going to them. Because you have some warrant and you want to betray your brother to get less jail time. Oh, that's why you did that. Otherwise, you would have went to us. Dare any of you go to law before the unjust? The court system in Great Britain is unjust. The court system in Trinidad, Jamaica is unjust. South Africa is unjust. The court system in America is unjust. How dare you go to them and not before the saints of God? Keep going.
Verse 2. Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world?
Unless you believe that we don't have the authority to judge this matter. Is that what you're saying? By going to the white man, by going to the oppressor instead of us? Don't you know that the saints shall judge the world? You don't know that? Continue.
And if the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matter?
If we're going to judge the world, we can't judge your small matter of you fighting with your wife. We can handle that. You and your wife in there fighting like two alley cats or possums. We can handle that. You think you the first? We can deal with that. You think some brother cheated you out of money? We can handle that. You think somebody did something to you? We can handle that. We can handle it. And you better not let anybody else handle it. That's in the Bible. Everyone understands. Now let's give out some more money to the young brothers that came into class right on time for money. Everybody else already got theirs, a bun. Send them up here. Good job. All right. What do I got to do now? Time or no time? Come on. Please.
If we see like a police officer doing like the police brutality on a brother, as far as representing the school, how would we intervene?
Good to see you, brother. Now about you, Shaq, good job, bro. Good job. Here you go. Well done. Oh, get that brother. Here you go, young brother. I see you. Give me a pound. Bang it, bang it, bang it, bang. Good job. Good job. Oh, good. Give my hand. All right. All right, go ahead. If we see a cop, if we see a, go ahead.
Cop like performing police brutality on a brother or sister. As far as representing the school go, how would we intervene?
Okay, now, in these cases, like so many cases, you have to handle it on a specific case-by-case issue. So I can only give you an in general thing. There's sometimes that you should do what I'm about to say. There are sometimes that you should not do what I'm about to say. You get my point? This is one of those questions where the circumstances matter, all right, which is in a lot of cases in life, all right? If you wanted to best represent the school, they're beating that brother, throw your body on top of it, right? Someone else needs to film that, right? Someone else films it. You just say, take me. Just you can hit me. Hit me. That's all. You hit me. But brothers have done it. I.R.O.C did this a few years ago. Give I.R.O.C a hand down there in North Carolina. I.R.O.C, the police were about to kill this brother in North Carolina. They had their guns on him, about to shoot him. And I.R.O.C said, let me talk him out of it. I'll do it. I'll handle it. And I.R.O.C talked the brother into submitting to the cops. And the cops did not shoot him. That was the perfect thing to do in that particular case. Do you understand? That happened. It's one of the benefits of being in a school that's been around since 1969. We have been through everything. We're not some purple pig that existed in 2006, which all my garments and are older than 2006. So they haven't been through enough to know what to do, but we, of course, have been through it. Okay, back in the day, Chief Head Priest Lahab, Commander General YAHANNA always tells me about the story when they were at camp in Times Square, and the brothers got arrested. And the cops put him in the cop car. And Chief Head Priest Lahab just starts blazing on the cops, walks over to the cop car, opens the door, and tells them to get out. And they got out. Now, that's what he did. You get the point. They got out. Now, it's a different case, and you have to know what to do in that case. That's the point. All right? Good to go? Time or no? You die. With that, I'll go over the rest of Mother's Day on Thursday. With that, pass the class over to Priest Officer Mathemya.
Got what's up? Okay. Wow. Oh, here's somebody. You go. Yeah, you do that.
All right, this is I.S.U.K security announcements. With the I.S.U.K started on 1 West on 25th Street, Harlem, New York. Under command of General YAHANNA, group of new brother and sister. When the new brother and sister comes into the school, they are all with us for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to spread themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21. Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10 means 10th in the evening. My I.S.U.P.K, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give the Treasury Department. Priest funds, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you are like. Upcoming holy convocations. Right now, we're in the Feast of First Fruits, and we started after the Sabbath of the unleavened bread, sundown, April 20th. Now you got to count 50 days, so we're going to celebrate the 50th day. Sunday, June 8th, and it starts before sundown. If you want to read up on it, go to Leviticus chapter 23, verse 10, and read down to 22. No, it's not 22. Was it? Yeah, 22. My YAHUSHUA and check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school to start wearing all black, boot, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf with that. Imagine, brother. All right, man, Israel, one little brothers on courtesy salute. Man, Israel, Imagine Shabbat. Imagine. Barak. YAHAWAH, YAHUSHUA, Barak, Thumb. YAHUSHUA, hands down, starting with the sisters. Sitting on stage, Imagine. Imagine Shabbat. Men of Israel, the sisters on courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Imagine Shabbat. Imagine. Barak. YAHAWAH, YAHUSHUA. As hands down, class dismissed.